Hello guys, I just wanted to make a quick tips and tricks video on Sledders because I know from experience with my friends that it is pretty hard to learn at first, and the amount of time you gotta put in to learn it is pretty substantial. So I was just gonna make quick tips and tricks video on 537 hours on this game, and I can tell you right now, this game is really fun. I'm not even gonna lie, will be very hard at the start. So that's why I was just making this video, especially now, because they added a whole bunch of new features and whatnot. So basically, I'm gonna just give you a rundown. So if we go, I'm playing on PlayStation. So if you press the pause menu, right, there's all of these settings, right. So basically, your first thing I'm going to tell you about is your sled. Alright, so right now I'm on the Summit X 154. So, basically, the longer your sled is, the easier it will be to get up hills, right? So if I'm on a 146, like the Summit 146, like this hill I was on, right? Let me come back down here and it will be a lot more agile, right? So like, look, I'll come up this hill, and I mean, it's probably not gonna look that hard because I've played this game for so long, but it's a little bit more challenging because you gotta keep your balance, you gotta keep going forward and whatnot. And if we go down here, yes, right here. So look, if I go down here and I try to do this hill climb, most likely I probably won't be able to make it just because of the length of the sled, of the track length. So right there, I had issues in getting up here. Is pretty hard. You know, just trying to get up the. Sorry, I'm sick right now. So, anyways, trying to make it up this hill will be hard. Like I said, I do have quite a few hours on this game. So for me, it's easier. But for example, so that's with a shorter sled, and I was struggling. So let's go here, edit sled, and let's put on the Summit X 165, okay? And make sure we reset this now. Now look, on the longer sled, I have basically no issue getting up this. Like right there where I kind of stalled out, no issue. Absolutely no issue at all. So, there you go. That's about the sleds. And there's 12 sleds. There's the Skidoo sleds, like the Freeride 146, the Summit X 154, the Summit X 165, the Lynx sleds, the Shredder RE 3700, which is in millimeters because I don't really know where these guys are based off of, but they use millimeters. Yeah, but they use millimeters over there. And there's the Polaris RMK 146, the RMK 155, the Pro RMK 165. So this sled is a really good sled for beginners because it just gets up everything. Or not for beginners. It's a really good sled. If you want a really good beginner sled, I would recommend the Shredder DS 4100, and it is a Lynx sled. So this thing is the same motor, or like basically, but it is a lot, it's more heavy and it's more controllable, so it's a lot easy to get up. And if you're just trying to go up a hill and get a hill climb done, not try to like do anything fancy or wheelie or whatnot, this is a very good option. This is the sled that I started using when I first was playing the game. Very good option. And so that's basically all done for sleds. I mean, there's a couple like little specs I can get over, but that is fine. And then with the newer update, they added this map that I'm on right now called Lakeside, so that's pretty cool. And then they added environmental options. So right now I'm on automatic time. Just as the time goes on, the time changes. They added weather, so there can be cloudy weather, snow, blizzard, light fog, dense fog, overcast, rain, and I think that's it for that way. Hold on. I was at clear. There's dynamic, which is like all sorts of stuff. So depending on like the time, it will change. And then snow conditions. So there is, if you go all the way to the left, the snow condition firm. There is literally like almost no way you can get stuck. I have gone up like the most impossible hill climbs on 146s, and they just got up it easy. Like right there, I tried to dig right there, and I only got this far down. And you can see right here as I'm just riding, the snow is pretty light, so you can it's pretty light. It's pretty beginner friendly, as firm snow would be for anything. The other options they have, there is semi-soft snow, which is just a little bit softer than firm. You can still get stuck most of the time, or not most of the time. You can still get stuck sometimes. There's soft, which is like it says, it's pretty soft. You will get more stuck in that one, and it's a lot more hard to get up stuff, and it's actually like powdery, and if you land in it, you'll kind of have a nice cushion. For powder, this is the one that you would usually be on for when you start Sledders, and it's just like it says, it's pretty powdery. You can get stuck in it quite a bit, and yeah, it's really good. It's not very beginner friendly like at all, but once you get used to it, it'll be really good. And again, there's soft powder, which is just way softer than powder. This is what I usually, or this is what I typically run, because I've put in so many hours and whatnot. And so yeah, so there's the snow setting, or the new environmental settings. So for actual settings, they changed. Here's all my general settings that I'm running right now. For if you toggle over to writing, they added a whole bunch of new writing features and whatnot. So these are my writing feature or writing settings. So I have wrong foot forward input type to hold. So if you see down in the bottom right corner, there's that dude, and if I press L1 or R1, or it's RB or LB for Xbox, your dude will jump around. I will go into third person. You can see I do this by holding L1 and R1, or LB and RB. So I'll show you what that is. So basically, say you're stuck on a hill, right? To get out of it, one thing, so if you're like climbing up this, right, and you get stuck, oh no, there's like a bump, you lost all your speed, right? You can turn or reset the snow by pressing left on D-pad, and then you can place your snowmobile right here, and you can press R1 to make your dude step off the left side, and then you can turn your skis with your right analog stick, turn them out, and then lean with your right analog, or with your left analog stick, and then hit the gas, and then it's a lot easier. I messed up right there, but it's a lot easier to come out of spots than it is just doing it normally. Like if I were to do it normally, here, let me get okay right here. So boom, I'm stuck. Oh, hold up. Oh no, I'm stuck, right? So now I can come right here, press L1, lean over here, and then lean with my right stick, and I can power out of it and get up it. Alright, so that's one tech that is kind of hard to learn at the start. And you really want to manage your throttle control. So if you're heading up a mountain, right? You're heading up a mountain and there's a bump in the way, right? So let me see. Let me go back down to somewhere where there's a spot. I think right here. Yeah, so say like right here, right? You're heading up this, you're heading up this. Oh no, bump. When you or not right here. I'll show you. Right here, there's a bump, right? You come up it really fine, and right there, you lose your speed. You're gonna just tap the gas. I kind of messed up there, but what you'll do is if there's a bump, you'll jump up the bump, lose like all your speed, and you don't want to stay in it. You want to like kind of tap your throttle like I was there, and like I am right here, right now, kind of tapping it. I messed up because I didn't get the tap right. But you want to kind of tap it to do throttle control, and it's a lot easier to get over stuff, and it's a lot easier to wheelie once you learn throttle control and throttle discipline. So you know when to tap your throttle, you know when to let out of your throttle. You know, like right there as I go come up in the dip, I let off the gas a little bit, and then I'm good to go. And then right here, like I said, you gotta kind of lean into it, and then it's easier, right? So that's basically the lean in like throttle control. Like you get better as you play. You learn your throttle control and your throttle discipline. Sorry guys, but after you do that, it's pretty easy. And then the next thing on my list that I'm gonna go through is the rest of my settings for riding. So on trails, I do no reverse for by braking because you don't really need it. You have the option to press circle and then spin it around. So there's that. And then there is the rest. So on trail, reverse braking, driver stance is standing. I wouldn't set it to standing. I'd set it to sitting. So you have a little bit more control of your sled when you're on the trails. I would set your auto steer to on, and I'd put your counter steer, or I'd put it to oversteer at 8, so it's a lot easier to go on the snow. And on firm snow and on any other snow type, you want to put your driver's stance to stand and put auto steer on and put your counter steer to -8 on literally everything. When I tell you that you guys should change these settings, and I literally mean it. After this new update, it is so much easier to lean and to get up hills and to get through trees than it has ever been. It makes the sled feel a lot more like reactive and easier to turn. So yeah, so there's that. And then you want to make sure on general you have I don't know what these are, but you want to do can't remember what they're called. It's not controls. It's not this, but you basically always want to have on. Hold on, I can't find it. What is it called? Maybe they got rid of it actually. I think they got rid of it anyways. So basically, before the new update, you had to change the setting to make it so when you lean with your right stick, or left stick, sorry, with your right stick, it only leans and you don't turn your skis. But apparently, in this new update, they got rid of that setting. So no matter where you lean, it turns the skis. So that's pretty cool. Didn't know that because I have been playing for a while, and the way it has been, it's just been you have to turn that setting on. So you guys don't need to do that. It's already in the game. And there's not really anything else to go over. If y'all want my graphics, this is what I use. Uh, I usually do, before this update, I did 110 FOV for third person. but 90 is pretty good. And for first person, I used to do 130, but I go to 120. It just helps with your visual, surroundings, and it's a lot easier to see things. I have snow particles on, make the game feel more realistic. Motion blur, I have it turned off. I don't know. For me, it makes the game feel smoother, but you guys can do whatever you guys like to your preference. For me, I like motion blur off. But yeah. So there's my tips for starting. There's the sled things and whatnot, and I would definitely recommend if you want to play this game, just play it. It will be hard at the start, but once you get like a couple hours on it, like I'm talking 20 plus hours, you start to understand the game and understand how it feels and understand like the throttle control and everything else and whatnot. And definitely for a couple maps, I would recommend starting on. Definitely Woodland, High Peaks, and Hills, which are those three are probably the best beginner maps considering they don't have very many big hills. I know High Peaks has pretty big hills, but I'm not expecting anybody to hop on the game first time and get up those hills. But anyways, so there's my tips and tricks. Hope you guys learned something. Hopefully it helps you guys out on Sledders. And yeah, I'll be back. Whoever knows, probably on the next Sledders update. So if you guys need to see what's going on, I'll be on it. So yeah, catch you guys later.